as you can see, that low pressure system that brought some severe weather to much of the south and southeast yesterday is moving through the mid-Atlantic this morning, bringing some heavy rainfall rates to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then moving off the coast by about 7 a.m. today. So that storm's going to be gone. It's going to bring a little bit of rain into the northeast. It'll be interesting to see if it brings any snow. But this low did some damage as it moved through the southeast. It actually caused a tornado in Mississippi yesterday. It was a pretty big tornado. You'll have to check out some of the footage of that. But that one's just going to move off the coast. And it is interesting to see what it does to the northeast as it moves through, because I had people asking me yesterday, will this bring some snow to the northeast? And, you know, it shows a dash showing up in northern Pennsylvania into New York a little bit, but I think that's just some novelty snow. The temperatures are pretty warm there. I looked them up. They're about 39 degrees. Even though this showed a little bit of snow, I don't really think it's going to be working in. This low is just way too far south, and it moves off the coast just really fast. You're going to get some rain in the eastern parts of Pennsylvania throughout the day Wednesday. And basically all New Jersey getting some rain, and really northern parts of the northeast not really getting any precipitation with this one. So that's interesting. What we were hoping is that it would move up the coast just like Quincy did. Quincy was an awesome storm. It brought over a foot of snow to New Hampshire, northern Massachusetts, some parts of Maine, and even some record snow for that day in a couple of cities. And that was because that low just went right up the coast and really pushed in moisture, pulled down cold air, and just created the perfect recipe for a big snowstorm. This low, as you can see, moving straight off the coast into the Atlantic, really not bringing anything to the northeast. But let's click through here. Let's see if we have anything. There's a low that moves in on Friday, and that could bring some snow to the upper parts of the northeast, maybe a little bit into Maine. And then we're going to see another low push through Ohio on early Friday morning, bring some rain to southern parts of New York, northeast Pennsylvania. Can it bring any snow? Not looking too good. What about going all the way into Saturday and Sunday? More rain in the forecast. All right, this is something. On Sunday, March 29th, we could have a little dash of snow for Vermont and New Hampshire. That's going to be something to keep our eye on. And it actually has some heavy rates building into Maine on Sunday afternoon, moving into very northern parts of Maine on Sunday evening. So that's something to keep our eye on. I don't really trust forecast models that far out, but it's something in the forecast. It shows something is possibly on the way. There is a snowstorm moving into the Midwest though. So it's interesting to look at this one. It starts as just rain. That's because the temperatures there are still just pretty warm. You see that rain building into Minnesota and Wisconsin, and then really heavy rain throughout the day Wednesday and then into Wednesday night. This is showing Wednesday at about 7 p.m. for the Midwest, and you can see some heavy rain building into Wisconsin and Michigan. And then on the tail end of that system, as the low moves through, then on the left side of the low as it moves out of the screen, it's going to be bringing down some cold air because the low has counterclockwise circulation. So as it's gone, bring some of that cold air down. You can see we can get a dash of snow for Wisconsin and Michigan early Thursday morning. Maybe even Wednesday night. You could start to see some of those flakes drop. And like I said, that low moves off and the winds would be coming from north to south. So it'd be bringing down some cold air. And then they actually have another even better snowstorm moving in after this one. There's a little dash of rain that moves through on Friday. That low really just brings rain. We saw it just brings rain to the northeast as well. And then some really heavy rain building in on Saturday. That's some heavy rates for Illinois and Indiana. That's about 0.5 inches per hour. So that is early Saturday morning. You guys are going to be waking up to some very heavy rain as this low moves through right here. And this is the one that could bring some good snow. You can see really heavy rates building into Minnesota, Wisconsin, maybe some parts of Michigan. I have another map that shows this one a little bit better. But that low is bringing some good snow throughout Saturday and into Sunday. Those are some heavy rates. Like right there, that's about 0.2 inches per hour of snow. That's pretty good right there. So it'll be interesting to look at the accumulations, what you can get. give you a sneak peek. It's looking pretty good with this one. Like I said though, this actually shows that what I was talking about counterclockwise circulation around the low. On the right side, it's bringing air up from the south, which is going to be warmer. You get rain right there. On the left side, it's bringing that air down from cold Arctic and Canada, and that's why you get snow on the left side. Just an interesting little science lesson there as we see Michigan still getting snow on Sunday night. That's going to be something to keep our eye on. And so this is showing what comes through today. As you can see, not much, maybe a little dash of snow in Wisconsin, maybe an inch working into Michigan this is what you'd have accumulated throughout the day Wednesday. Yeah, not really anything to get too excited about. The one that could bring some good snow though is that one moving through on Sunday. You can see that's showing about a foot of snow for parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. That's pretty good. And then there's this strip where you're into 2 to 4 inches, 5 to 8 inches. That's not looking too bad. And you can actually see it a little bit better on this screen. As you see, Minnesota, there's a nice strip where you get 5 to 8 inches. Very northern parts of Wisconsin could be getting a taste of that foot of snow. So that's something to keep our eye on. Again, that one comes through Sunday. So that's a little farther off in the weather forecast than I really trust models, but it's showing that something could be coming through. Could become a bigger storm, could end up just moving too far north and we don't get any snow. It'll be interesting to keep our eye on that. The other big story is the record heat wave that is going to be spreading in throughout the entire eastern half of the country, really starting yesterday and then just escalating and escalating throughout Friday and Saturday and Sunday, where we could be seeing temperatures 20 to 30 degrees above average. A few cities have already been breaking the record high temperatures, and this heat wave is really just getting started. By Friday and Saturday, it's looking pretty intense, and it's because of the jet stream right here. Or, it's a good indication of this heat wave by watching what the jet stream is doing. I like to think of the jet stream as the separation between warm and cold air. That separation where you get the warm air from the tropics down here, the cold air from the Arctic up here, and then it meets in the mid-latitude. And where that cold air and warm air meet, you have a huge pressure gradient. Along a huge pressure gradient, you get extreme winds, aka the jet stream. So it's interesting to watch what this does here. And again, when you're looking at the jet stream, just think of it as the separation of warm and cold air. Right here, basically just looks like it's flat. It's going straight west to east, going from California into the North Carolina, basically straight across the country. But as we move through the day Wednesday, that jet stream turns into a massive ridge. So when you think about warm air being on the southern part of the jet stream, you can see that warm air has built into basically the entire eastern half of the country. And we're going to be getting temperatures in the high 90s, maybe hitting 100 in places like Texas and Florida. And there's even some fire weather danger. I just filmed an entire video about the first day of fire season, and that's because we have red flag warnings associated with these warm temperatures in New Mexico, Texas, even Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. And it's because of this giant ridge that's going to be building in throughout the week. This is showing the temperature anomalies. How high above average are your temperatures? You can see the southeast is already 15 to 17 degrees above average, and this is really just getting started with this heat wave. This is when the jet stream is really west to east. It's flat. That, you can see it's not that crazy looking, but as that jet stream turns into a giant ridge, you're going to see this heat wave turn into the 20 to 30 degrees above average. That's where we're going to be breaking temperature records. And if you haven't turned on the AC since last year, you most likely are moving into Friday and Saturday, as we're going to be in the mid 80s in a lot of places. As you can see though, it really intensifies throughout Friday and Saturday. You have this amazing temperature contrast really split down the middle of the country. All the way up into the Midwest, we're seeing this heat wave 20 to 30 degrees above average. And then just going into the west, we're about 10 to 20 degrees below average. So it's just interesting to see that temperature contrast right there. Something to get ready for though. And if you're thinking to yourself, who cares about heat? Heat is actually the #1 weather killer. More people die from heat than any other weather-related issue. And especially in cold areas like the Midwest that really aren't used to the heat, especially after a really cold winter. So when you get 20 to 30 degrees above average, your body just isn't used to that kind of heat yet, and it can actually lead to a lot of deaths. So you got to take heat waves like this seriously. And this is showing some of the temperatures that we could be seeing on Friday. Remember, that's when this heat wave is really built in to the entire eastern half of the country. You can see places in Texas, 97 degrees, 98 degrees, maybe working 100, and then mid-80s throughout the entire southeast. And then, like I said, moving up into the Midwest, you don't think 69 degrees looks all that crazy, or 68 degrees. In Indianapolis, it's 65 degrees in Columbus. Doesn't sound that crazy, but again, your body's just not used to it. And like I said, this is also creating fire danger. Northern Texas, northeast New Mexico, working its way into very western Oklahoma. And the reason for that fire danger, one, you got the warm temperatures going to be in the mid-80s. This low right here is also bringing in extreme winds. There's going to be 30-mile-per-hour gusts associated with these winds coming in from the south and southwest. The air is extremely dry too. You wouldn't think that. You think of low pressure, that's like storms, but it's bringing up this really warm, dry air, and we're going to have relative humidities around 13%. So you got warm air, extreme winds, and really dry air as well. That's the 3 boxes you need to check for fire danger. And as a matter of fact, I just did an entire fire forecast, really diving into the fire danger in this area. So if you want to check that out, you can go to my channel. And if you enjoy weather videos, I do these forecast videos every single morning. So if you enjoy following the weather or you enjoyed this video, you could subscribe to my channel. You could also check out my forecast playlist, where I have been doing about 2 forecast videos a day for the last week. Thanks for watching.